Andrew is here with us from the Love Andrew Foundation, and they are having a really cool event this weekend. Two handsome guys are going to get on stage and they're going to share their thoughts, but it's very unique. Andrew has autism and apraxia, and he is able, with the advancement of technology, to really free his mind and be able to tell the world what he's thinking and feeling. And so he wanted to open the show today. So we are going to let Andrew open the show with a statement that he has gotten ready, that he wants to share with everybody. So you can go ahead.
Thank you for having us on the show. Getting to share our story gives me hope that others won't have to suffer like we did. Communication changes everything. We are stoked for our big event this weekend, and we hope to see you all there. It will be flipping epic. P.S. I am now a songwriter, and I hope to have a hit for Q92, so be on the lookout for my first song called Rising Voices.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much, Andrew. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
That is awesome, Andrew. Maybe you can tour with my band, the Broken Toasters, when it's all set.
I have a feeling his might be a little better than yours.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Andrew. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So Andrew's gonna share with us. I'd asked him earlier who his favorite artist was, and what music means to him, because it's obviously very deeply embedded into all of this. So he's actually going to work on answering us, and before the end of the show, he's going to give us his answer. In the interim, we're going to talk to your mom, Andrew, about what's going on this weekend and how this all came to be, because this is truly like getting to really know your son, and what a gift this has been for you, and honestly a gift that it'll be for everyone in this community who has not been able to communicate with their child the way that they want to, and to really hear everything. So Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about Andrew's experience and how we got here, and how this has been for you and your family, really getting to have a conversation with Andrew and to get to know him?
Well, first, thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
This is huge. And we are really excited about this event coming up February 1st. He has been with his friend Jacob. If you go to twohandsomeguys.com, doing these events in front of 300 and some people, especially in Cincinnati. And we're bringing it to Canton to really show everybody, people that work with people with autism, teachers, therapists, parents, and we love to have the people that have autism come to our events because they're completely inclusive. And one thing we have really, really figured out, and it's only been in the last year, that he really does know everything we're talking about. His mind is fully intact. His language is all there. We had no idea for years.
Oh my gosh.
For years, we have been, it's so much work. We have, when he was 3, he was diagnosed officially with autism apraxia. We did countless hours of occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, communication, speech, language, you name it. We still do all of those things with him. And what we found was recently there is this breakthrough, and we do this text-based communication. It is not AI. It is not autocorrect. And we do these incredible events to prove to people that they can communicate fully using a keyboard and typing one letter at a time. And what our event, and the reason we do these events, we don't just want to tell people, we want to show people that we have cameras directly on the keyboard. Any people that are critics of this can please come and watch. We invite you even up on the stage to watch with your own eyes, to watch these boys fully communicate with an expert communication partner, because she will talk in a minute about that. That they can speak and say things just like you and I. They know, and they've paid attention to everything. So what my message is to everyone out there that works with these children, adults, that interacts with them, family members who think that their child is lost to autism and they can't communicate, that they are fully in there. And so treat them like they know what you're talking about. It will help them so much to know that even if you say to them, I know you know what I'm talking about. You hear all these things about receptive language that they don't quite understand. So people want to talk slowly to them. They assume maybe they're at a second, third grade level. And what we found was no, they are not at all. And treat them very age appropriately when you communicate with them. They might and probably will not be able to communicate fully back to you. Andrew has a lot of speech and language therapy, hours and hours of it. He can communicate to a very limited degree. So on the outside, he looks as if he's not as intelligent and very different. But on the inside, he is just like you and us, all of us.
Nicole, can I ask you, how long has he been able to communicate with you guys using the assistive device?
It's been about a year, and we have truly felt like we are meeting our real son for the first time, which is mind-blowing. We really want to share this with the world, and that's our mission, and that's our goal. We plan to take this, to as many cities as we can and show that there is hope, that they have a voice, and let them speak their mind and teach us how to help them. For so long, for so many years, for the past 20 years, we've been guessing. Like, okay, the research says, and we've followed everything. Research says they should be in intensive therapy. We did that full time for years, do speech therapy, occupational therapy, nutritional therapy. All of that is really very, very, very important to the well-being of all of these kids. And however, not one expert or not one person realized that they really know as much as we do. They've been listening to us. Whether you think they're not listening or not, they know what you're talking about. And a lot of times we talk about them in front of them. and they know that. And they have been through a lot with teachers and therapists and even parents. And it's to no one's fault until now that we actually really understand that they are not at a kindergarten, second grade level. They are brilliant, a lot of incredibly brilliant. He has talents that I had no idea he even had. He loves writing music. He knows so many things. We're shocked by what he actually knows. I think he's just been listening for his whole life. I just can't imagine, and he can speak for himself, what it's like not being able to communicate back.
Yeah.
Nicole, you mentioned how you a couple minutes ago how you feel like you've gotten to know your son on a whole new level. Once you guys had this discovery, once you guys understood. What if you can't take me? What was it like that moment that you two realized? Like what you said when it finally came to fruition. Like, wait a minute, he knows everything. He knows everything. He knows everything I'm saying. He understands everything. Because like you said, you guys didn't know. When that moment happened, what was that like personally for you and for him when you had that epiphany, when you had that moment, that realization, like, oh my God, like it had to be so many emotions, so many feelings when that happened for you guys.
It was overwhelming.
I'm sure.
Now, in my heart and everything in my intuition, because he's my son, I always knew and felt with everything in my body and my soul that he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on. Now, trying to convince other people of that was nearly impossible. And so with this, we can prove that. And, you never give up. We have tried everything.
Yeah.
We've worked for years. And the greatest part about finding this method is part of not giving up, not letting it go. And I think that's a great message for all of us to learn in any endeavor and any challenge that we have.
100%.
Just don't give up. but yeah, it was crazy because he had messages for everybody in our family. And it brought tears to our eyes. What he wrote to my oldest son, his older brother, was just incredible. And it changed all of the dynamics in the family, everything. And we understand now that he's not fully in control of his body. There is a mind-body disconnect, but their mind is fully intact. They have all of the language in their mind. They just can't get it out in a reliable way. It's so their language is not really very reliable. What they say on the outside is not maybe exactly what they mean to say.
Yeah.
It can be very confusing, and we are working through that still to this day. Like, just knowing the two different Andrews.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
kind of hard to get that together, but we're working on it.
So how did you get to the point of saying, okay, this technology exists, let's give it a shot and see if this could be something that could really help change the game for our family? Like, how did you get to that?
How did we get to that? Well, through all of the connections we've had, the two women are here right now. They were part of the program we did with Andrew full time while he was 3, 4, up until age, till today. Part of that behavioral relationship program, play therapy, basically. They were part of that, and they went out and started new things. And Julie, who you'll probably talk to today, got into this, and we all talk, like our community talks, and together. And we said, let's give this a try, because she became an expert in this. And I'm up for anything. I'm like, well, let's try it. Let's see how this works. And then Susan, we share a therapist. Susan, we share with Jacob and Andrew, because they lived parallel but very separate lives. He's in Cincinnati. And we got the two boys together, and now they have this incredible friendship that we never thought he'd be able to have a friend.
Yeah.
And we just hoped and dreamed that he would be able to make friends and have connections, but we weren't sure if that would even happen. So,
and what a connection this friendship is, and what it's bringing to the world.
Yes.
I mean, hope for so many families and those impacted by autism and apraxia. And I mean, it's possible. He's walking proof.
Walking proof. This is why we invite everybody to come to this event to see it for themselves. You always have critics out there, which is fine. I was one of them for a long time. I'm very particular about what we do with our son. This is pretty new with our community, and we're just trying to get it out there. It's hard to grasp, but we really do invite people to come and watch this for themselves. It's going to be an incredible event. It's these guys really put on a great show. They're fun, they're funny, they're smart, and everybody they're just blown away by it. So
yeah, and that's what's so interesting about this and so appealing about this is that once you guys figured this out, you wanted to not only share this, but show that like this is real. I mean, you guys literally are like, listen, we're not just going to tell you about this.
Right.
We're literally going to go out, travel around, and show you. And like you said, whether you want to learn or whether you're a skeptic and want to see for yourself, you're like, please come out skeptics, come out those who want to learn, because we're going to literally show you. Like you said, camera is going to be right there on the there's
on
no
the computer.
This is all come on. I just love that you guys are brave enough to go out there and bold enough to say
full transparency.
Yeah, there's no
that's
tricks,
important.
no nothing.
Yeah.
Come on out, see this for yourself, because we will show you what we're talking about. And I think a lot of people might not have the courage to go out and do that and go out, even just to public speak. I mean, we do this every morning on the radio. I don't even like talking in front of people besides this room. I don't like it.
He's telling the truth.
I love that.
And you guys are out there and you're like, no, we're going to literally show you this technology, show you how bright these kids are.
Yes.
And it's going to educate people, and it's going to inspire tremendous amounts of hope to people.
Yeah.
And that's our hope, to inspire other people and to show them what's possible and to prove. I mean, I feel like we owe it to people to actually prove it, not just say it.
Yeah.
So the two hardest to prove to was my husband and my oldest son.
Mhm.
Like, that's AI. That's got to be autocorrect. How does he do that? That's impossible. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're like, you've got to come and watch
see it for yourself.
and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of technology, let's talk to Julie just for a second,
Yes.
just about what this device is and
Yes.
what it does and what she does to assist Andrew when he needs it.
And again, if you're watching on the live video feed on Facebook, YouTube, or X, you've been able to see them working on that in the background while we've been talking to Nicole. So you'll be able to see it in action. So if you're checking this out, and if not, I encourage you to go over to the live video feed for this, because like I said, you can literally see them working with it in the background while we're talking.
It's so cool
about this awesome event that is coming up this weekend. And again, it is this Saturday, February 1st from 2 to 4, Kent State Stark Conference Center, 6000 Frank Avenue Northwest, North Canton. You guys definitely want an afternoon of spelling with Andrew and Jacob, two handsome guys from the Love Andrew Foundation.
Julie, you have got to tell us how this technology even works, because what a gift for families. It's huge.
It's huge. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not just even those with autism or apraxia. There may be other nonverbal individuals who really could. This is a game changer for them, for their entire life, for their families.
Sure. Anybody who doesn't have access to reliable speech, this is huge. And I think understanding autism as apraxia being a big piece of that puzzle is what's missing in the autism community. When we start to understand what apraxia is, then we're understanding what challenge to work on. Apraxia is a disconnect between the brain and the body. So they have a thought, I want to say this, I want to do that, and they can't get their body to listen to their brain. So when we start to recognize it from that perspective, then as I'm working with him as a communication partner, I am able to coach his body in a way that works for him so that he can get his body to listen to his brain.
Okay.
So it's less about, the technology, right? We start off with a low-tech device where it's just the alphabet, and we're breaking the alphabet into pieces, and we're helping him gain control over his body and build up to the keyboard. It took many, many steps, many, many years of work and practice to get that body listening to his brain.
Oh my god,
that's really interesting. So you almost like break it down to the studs, and you start over and build up as you go, and to figure that. And you put that. So that's something you came up with. You're like, okay, now that we understand this is how we can start. This is how we can do this. Now that we understand, like you said, what the actual situation is, because I guarantee there's so many people listening right now that didn't know what you literally just told everybody.
Yeah,
didn't understand.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
didn't
mean?
know, right? I've been in this autism field since 1998 and had no idea that apraxia was such a big piece of it. I didn't even know what apraxia was until 2015.
Wow.
And that's when everything changed. Yeah. And I didn't come up with it.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you made up with it, but
there are different methodologies out there, and I don't subscribe to any one methodology. I like to learn from everybody and take bits and pieces and learn as much as I possibly can, because if there's one thing I've learned since being in this field this long is I don't know anything, right? It's always changing, always evolving. What I did 5 years ago is different from the 5 years before that, which is different from the 5 years before that. So we're never done learning. So I'm always pulling from different methodologies and just doing whatever works for the individual.
But on a personal, how incredible do you feel once you learned that and you've been able to do these things that you've been able to do to help people? I mean, it has to be life-changing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around, right? It's like you go to work and it's
not work, it's reward.
Right.
100% reward.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. That really is incredible.
Speaking of the reward, I don't know if is Andrew completed the response to our question from earlier?
Yes, he has.
We would love to hear his answer. We wanted to know from Andrew, because I know music is such a big part of him and his life, and just kind of, Nicole, would you say too that it's kind of been something that has not gotten him through this, but he didn't have a voice for so long. Did you find that he gravitated towards music maybe because of a feeling it gave him, or?
Well, one thing I always noticed is that he listened to music constantly.
Yeah.
And he definitely has some favorites. He Post Malone is his absolute favorite, and we got lucky enough to meet him randomly in California on his 21st birthday,
which was amazing.
I was going to mention that.
Yes.
If people are looking at
Yes.
on the screen now, they might go, "These two look familiar to me." It's because they went viral. I mean, literally, you guys went viral.
It was
over
viral.
that video.
He's friends with Post Malone.
Like you might be going,
here.
how do I know these two? Because they
Yes.
they literally went viral. It was an
They
incredible
did.
moment.
It was an incredible moment, and he came up to us. My oldest son forbid me to go up to him because I was ready to have a heart attack. And it was in a small restaurant, so it was crazy when he walked in. And he came over because I think he knew we were celebrating Andrew's 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Got you a beer. Yes, right?
Was it awesome?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
When he walked in, I said, "Oh my gosh, Andrew, do you know who that is?" Because he listens to him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And with his own words, he's like, "It's Austin." And I'm thinking like, "No, it's Post Malone. Why would you say that?"
He's like,
Gotta
you
get
think
the
I
name
don't
right.
know him?
Yes.
That's
So-
his real name.
So it proves he knows everything. So I guess that moment was just, and he was the most incredible person,
Yeah.
truly incredible. So we were really happy about
Not
that.
a lot
Right,
of people
Andrew?
could say their first beer was bought to them by Post Malone.
This
I
this
know.
guy can, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's incredible.
What an awesome memory.
Incredible.
So cool.
Yeah. Well, let's hear Andrew's response to our question. We asked him who his favorite artist was. Now, after having this conversation, I have a little bit of an idea, maybe who might be on that list and what music means to him, because I know, Andrew, you're working on music right now.
I am.
I can't wait to hear it. I really can't wait.
And just for effect, right? Let's have your speaking voice answer the question first, right? So,
Yes.
what does music mean to you, Andrew?
Rising voices.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
And here's what you typed. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume on. 1 second.
That's all right.
We were
Good.
on
I forget to do
silent
stuff
mode.
every day.
Drum roll, please. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
I love Post Malone because, like me, he looks tougher on the outside, but he has so much heart. Music feeds my soul. It was mind-bending to finally break free. It is like I could finally breathe.
I love that so much. Well, what a gift. What a gift you are, Andrew. We cannot wait to hear more of what you have to say because you are one amazing person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're so glad you could come in this morning. And if you're listening right now, also on Facebook, we had a comment, Autism Mom here. This is incredible. That was from Amber Dobbins. Amber, thanks so much for listening.
Thank you, Amber.
Oh, I love it so
And
much.
do not forget, again, the Love Andrew Foundation presents an afternoon of spelling with Andrew and Jacob, two handsome guys. It is this Saturday, February 1st from 2 to 4 at Kent State Stark Conference Center. All right. So if you guys want to go, you want to see something incredible this weekend.
Andrew wants to add one more thing.
You got it, buddy.
Let's do it.
I finally have hope. I am so flipping excited and grateful to be able to help free other voices.
Thank you, Andrew, for what
Yeah.
you're doing to help others.
Thanks for saying flipping.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
man.
Thank you guys
Oh,
so
man.
much. Again, twohandsomeguys.com. It will not disappoint.